Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Danica. This practice is specifically tailored to those of us with sensitive knees. And having sensitive knees is a real and constant bummer. So I really want to try to have some fun with this practice. Maybe even the joy of a lifetime, who knows? Grab a blanket or a pillow from your couch when you're ready. Let's get started. Alrighty, let's come on down to our backs. Place the feet on the floor, maybe a little bit wider than your hips, and let your knees fall in towards each other. Resting your hands on your lower belly, closing the eyes for just a moment. Let's take a couple of breaths to allow ourselves to arrive to the practice. So deep breath in through the nose and slow breath out of your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. Slow breath out of your mouth. One more. Let your shoulders relax down towards the mat and feel your lower back in contact with the mat. Imagine you have an orange between your chin and your chest, and we'll try to keep that space there throughout the whole practice, or as often as we think about it. Go ahead and heel toe your feet back in towards each other and draw your right knee in, interlacing the fingers behind your right thigh. You can keep the leg bent or you can extend it long, but if you extend it long and your low back peels off the ground, then keep it bent. We're just going to roll the ankle, point and flex the foot. So when we have knee issues, our ankles and our hips kind of take the hit. So I thought today maybe it would be fun to find some creative ways to bring movement into that space. That's the plan. Dropping the right foot back down, hug the left leg in. Choose what to do on this side. And roll the ankle, point and flex the feet. And then we'll drop that left foot down. We're going to bring both knees up in a reverse tabletop on our back. So shins are parallel-ish to the ground. Keep the shoulders relaxed and keep the low back in contact with the mat. And keep your orange between your chin and your chest. So we're going to drop the right toes down so the toes are pointed, and then lift it back up into tabletop. Flex the right foot. Drop the left toes down, lift it back into your reverse tabletop and flex the foot. So we're just alternating sides, pointing and flexing the feet. So we're trying as best as we can to keep the knees stacked on top of the hips. But I find that proprioception here can be a little tricky because my knees feel like they're on top of my hips right now, but they probably aren't. But that's what we're trying to feel, the core engagement here. So with your lower back pressing into the floor, the further that your knees are away from your belly, the more core engagement that you need. Bring everything back to tabletop. Extend your arms up towards the sky. And we're going to drop the right toes down and extend the left arm up over the head. And then bring it back to your tabletop. Flex the foot. Left toes down, right arm up over the head. Bring it back to tabletop. So a few times. Notice what's going on with your breath. Last few. Last one. And then let your knees bend and fall in towards your body. Bring the hands to the knees. And we're just going to take the knees around opposite directions in big hip circles. And reversing the direction. And then bring the feet back down onto the floor. Let's roll over onto our right side and rest our head in our right hand. So you have two options here. The first one, if it's better for your knees and for your core stability, is to have your knees out in front of you, in line with your hip, or as much as is comfortable, and your feet flexed. So your knees are kind of at a 90-degree angle with your body. If your core feels stable, you can extend your legs long and then bend the knees so that your feet are facing back behind you. If this is your option, then you might want to bring your left hand to your hip so we don't allow our hip to dial forward or back. We're really keeping the hips stacked, core engaged. With the feet flexed, no matter which version you're doing, you're going to inhale to lift the knee up and exhale, lower it down. So try to keep that rotation coming from the hip and not the knee. So the knee is staying in line with the ankle the whole time. And let's find the orange between our chin and our chest. At first, I feel like this is something that you're like, okay, I could probably do this for a long time. I feel just fine. And then you get a few in and you're like, ah, I feel it. But strengthening the outer hip and the glute area is really beneficial if we have sensitive knees. And we do this kind of glute strengthening a lot in yoga, in lunges and a lot of standing poses that are sometimes really challenging, if not dangerous, if we're having some knee issues. So this is an alternate way to strengthen that area. How you doing? Still easy? Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower it back down. So if your knees are long, bring them just a little bit forward. This time we're going to keep our feet glued together. You can keep your hand on your hip if that's helpful or out in front of you. And we're just lifting the knee up kind of like a clamshell. So we're not going to go as far, probably don't have as much mobility, but the external rotation is happening from the hip socket. So never the knee. If you feel it in your knee, do even less. So it might feel more like a micro movement for you, and that's okay. This is hard. It's still doing a lot. So keep breathing. Keep the orange underneath your chin. It's a hard one to remember. Last few. How you doing now? Can you feel it yet? 3, 2, 1. You did it. You did it. I know I'm feeling it. I know I'm feeling it. Okay, let's bring our knees up a little bit higher towards our body and then allow your upper body to drape backwards, keeping your hips stacked on top of each other. And then extend your left arm back, and we'll just take 3 breaths here in a gentle spinal twist. And then very gently rolling onto your back. We're going to bring our hands behind the thighs again and rock the length of the spine a couple times to rock yourself up into a seat. So you'll come up into your seat. So with your hands behind your thighs, rock back and forward just a little bit until you find that flat spot between your tailbone and your sitting bones where you can balance. Point your toes, lift your heart and slide your shoulders down, and then lifting the shins up parallel to the ground. Hug your knees in towards each other, really lift your heart, feel your core super engaged. So finding the orange beneath your chin, hug everything in towards the midline of your body. And exhale, lower down. And then we'll make our way down onto our side, our left side. I'll face you. Resting your head in your left hand. Choose what to do with your knees. So you can have them out in front of you, or you can have them long with the feet facing behind you. And then you might want to put your right hand on your right hip just to make sure you're not dumping your hip either way. We want to keep the hips stacked and safe. Or you can place your palm down in front of you. That also helps keep your balance. When you're ready, with that right foot flex, you're going to lift the right leg up and lower. Lift and lower. And breathe and find your orange beneath your chin. How does this side feel? I always think it's interesting that you'll have more or less mobility on one side, probably for your entire life. I've been practicing yoga now for 15 years, and I will forever have a problem child side. So one side is going to feel very easy compared to the other. And it's just interesting to notice your patterns of tension. Because when you practice noticing them, then maybe in the real world, when you start to see them creeping up, you can breathe and soften. Or find new ways to strengthen. How's it going? Did I distract you enough? Are you feeling like this is the joy of a lifetime? Just a few more, you got this. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I got this. This is very easy. That'd be awesome. I hope it is. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. I feel it. We're going to bring our knees just a little bit forward, keeping the feet sealed in towards each other. Just lifting that knee like a little clamshell. Lifting and lowering. It's easy to get frustrated too when you have that limited mobility, when you really feel like I should be able to do more. I think that's the issue with having sensitive knees in general, is the need to modify and feel like you're missing out on things because you have to modify so much. I know that's how I get frustrated. Almost there. Just a few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. You did it. Let's roll. Oh, I forgot. Let's bring our knees forward as close to the body as you need, and then allow your upper body to lean back. Reach that right arm back behind you. Taking 3 breaths here in your twist. And then we'll roll back into a fetal position for a moment. And then gently roll onto your belly. Stacking one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead down onto your hands. Bending the knees, gently windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then we'll bring the tops of the feet back down onto the ground. Extend your arms forward towards the front of the mat with the palms facing down. Tops of the feet on the ground. As you inhale, you're going to lift your right arm and left leg up. And exhale, lower it down. Inhale the left arm and right leg up. And exhale, lower it down. So we're just alternating sides. Use your breath. And move slowly. Slowly is often more challenging. It is also more stabilizing. A few more. Last 2. And very last one. Stack your hands again. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the legs. Maybe rolling the ankles. And then lower the feet back down. Let's roll over onto our backs again. Grab a hold of your blanket or your couch pillow. Lift your hips up and place it underneath of your low back hip area. And then lower down to rest on the prop. Just closing the eyes for a minute. Take a deep breath in and out. Draw your right knee in towards your body. You can interlace the hands behind the thigh or on top of the shin. You can keep your left foot on the floor, or if it's okay on your knee, you can extend it long. Draw your right knee in really close towards the body and maybe bring it out to the side and then over to the center. Maybe around in a few circles from the hip. Eventually making your way into stillness, drawing your right knee in as close as you can towards your body. You can flex and point the foot. And then flex the foot of the left leg, energetically pressing down with your thigh bone so you can feel a stretch in the front of the left hip flexor, but you're not locking your left knee. Take one more deep breath here. Bringing the right foot down to the mat. Hug the left leg in. Decide what to do with your right leg. You can extend it long or keep it bent. You can take your left knee around in circles. Circle out the ankle. In your own time, coming into stillness, draw that knee in as close as you comfortably can. Flex the foot of the right leg energetically pressing down with your right thigh bone, but try to keep your right knee soft, like a micro bend. Take one more deep breath here. And then lower the leg down. So you can keep the feet on the floor here, walk them out as wide as your hips or a little bit wider, letting your knees fall in. And you can stay on the pillow or the blanket, or you can lift your hips up and move it. But we're going to take 1 minute of stillness, and don't skip it. It's tempting, but Shavasana is a very important part of the yoga practice, and it's one of the best parts. So give yourself this minute of stillness and silence and peace. Just 1 minute just for you. So closing the eyes, take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Relax your face and your shoulders. Let your whole body feel at ease. Gently begin to deepen the breath. Moving your body in any way you need to wake it back up again. Removing the prop from underneath your body if you have one. And you can either end your practice here, or you can roll over onto your side and push up into a seat. Either with your legs crossed or with your feet on the floor in front of you, whatever's better for your knees. And once you get to where you're going, just close your eyes for a moment. Just notice how you feel. On your next inhale, reach your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, roll them down the back. Blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I genuinely hope it was the joy of a lifetime. If you like this practice, please consider subscribing and staying a while. I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.